30 entries this year for the men's lightweight double sculls. However, the defending champions, Zsolt Hurling and Tamás Varga of Hungary, went out in the semi-finals when they took bronze.
Yeah, and this is one of those events which is ever to the final. So hard was it that there was only 2 through from each semi-final, 3 semi-finals, and the Poles only just made it. Agony for the British double because the Poles put them on the line. That's why they're out in lane 6. Unfamiliar territory for them because the race is going to go on in the middle.
Yeah, you can never be quite sure what the Polish Olympic champions, double Olympic champions, are going to deliver. Quite a lot of times they've struggled to actually make the weight in this category, but every time we arrive at an Olympic year, suddenly they seem to find the right recipe.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. I mean, they are very tall men, and I know making the weight can be such a challenge for tall men in the lightweight division, but I find their form very hard to read, except to say you see them out in the Olympics and they're in front. But to me, the form crew in this regatta, well, the Danes have looked very dangerous, and then of course you've got those Lucerne winners from Italy, the Italians Luini and Miani, who are absolutely flying on the form at the moment. So this is going to be a great race.
And already the Italians keeping an eye on the Danes. For Denmark, this would probably be their main boat of the men's regatta.
Yeah, and I guess it's strange to see the main Danish lightweight boat in the double scull. Normally you'd expect to see Denmark strong in the lightweight rowing events, of course, Olympic champions in the lightweight men's 4, but they just have, with those retirements of that group of rowers, they just haven't had the depth, and now the double scull is the one that's flying the flag for Denmark.
Out on the far side, good start by the French. 2 very experienced men. Dufour in the stroke seat, Moreau sitting behind in the bow.
Yeah, and the French have got a long pedigree in lightweight double sculls. Certainly they've won medals in this event for a long time, and of course fantastic in the men's open weight event too yesterday with that wonderful win.
Yeah, Moreau, you're looking at Rasmussen and Kvist at the moment, and they are doing very nicely.
Yeah, they are doing very nicely. And do you know what, David? I think the wind has got up a little bit and the water is perhaps a little bit rougher now than it has been earlier in the day for the non-Olympic classes.
So you're going to say to me that the advantage they've got already is a big advantage?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a big advantage. And I don't think things are going to the Lucerne form, but the Danes perhaps been away at altitude and put on some pace there. And, well, they do look fantastic, I think, in this early part of the race. Very relaxed, very focused.
Just going back to the French, Moreau, bronze medalist in the lightweight men's single sculls. Now Dufour partnered Purnin last year to 5th place in the World Championship, so this is a sort of more established partnership.
Yeah, definitely a more established partnership. And I think the other thing that they're in the middle of this great race, and the Danes out in front, because normally you'd expect all the lightweights to be in a line, particularly in an event with a high standard as this. And it's a strange surprise to see at 1,000 metres the Danes with what, 4 or 5 second lead?
Well, that's an astonishing second quarter there, 1:33.80, and just to put that into perspective, the Germans were the second fastest through the quarter in 1:35.81.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great race behind them, isn't it? Fantastic race behind them, but I mean, there's only one winner in this sort of race, and when you're in a tailwind condition like this and you're out in front, you basically know, like he will have gone through 1,000 metres, Rasmus Kvist, the stroke man, and he'll know we're going to win this race now.
What may be in the Danes' minds is the fact that they've more often than not been the bridesmaid rather than the bride, because they've had a lot of near misses.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that really drives you on, particularly with the Danish pedigree, that they're going to actually produce a fantastic performance this year. But they do look so dynamic, don't they? I mean, there's just a little look across. He only just flicks his eyes, Rasmus Kvist. He doesn't shake his head at all, so he doesn't disrupt his rhythm, but just a few looks across. Is anyone going to come? Is anyone going to challenge? But nobody's disrupting their rhythm.
Well, the Italians have woken up a little bit and are now moving into second place, vying with France on the far side. But I have to say, Elia Luini, who of course used to be the partner of Leonardo Pettinari, and they had that great run running up to Athens Olympics before it all fell apart. Miani's looked a really good partner, but they're not going to be a match for this. No one's going to be a match for this.
No, you know, if they carry on at this rate, they're going to break the world record, and Luini is the world record holder at 6:10 currently, but the Danes, if they carry on at this pace, are certainly going to break that world record. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they do step up in the last 500 metres.
Well, that's a 1:34 for the third quarter.
Oh, that is sensational pace.
Well, maybe what they're trying to do here is to kill it off. Whether they can maintain this, they look as if they have killed the race off, but can they sustain it? That's the big question. The record is not really of great interest. It's a bonus. What they really want is the gold medal. And at the moment, pursuing them, France on the far side, Italy on the near side, Australia, we haven't really talked about them, Belts and Gibson still in with a shout of a medal.
Yeah, I think the Australians just ahead of the French at the moment, and there was a look across there and a definite need for the French to spurt. I wouldn't like to have to spurt in this last 250 metres because the water is cutting up.
Yes, you can see it there. The Italians moving better now than at any previous stage in the race, and they are very much making second place their own. Australia going with them, and that's the advantage of being right alongside the Italians. They can feel the pace, whereas the French on the far side are a bit detached, and that makes life difficult. Yeah,
and we've seen the Australian crews tie up in the last part of races. They've shortened up there, David. The Australians have shortened up, and I think that's a bit of a danger, because if the French stay long, they may have the final sprint.
Well, it's coming to the crucial time now. Nobody's going to touch Mads Rasmussen and Rasmus Quist. This has been pillar to post, gun to tape, and it's very quick. It's not going to quite get to the record, but it's a gold medal for Denmark. It's a silver medal for Italy. It's a bronze for France, and as you rightly pointed out, the Australians unable to sustain. They go through in fourth place ahead of the Olympic champions Poland, and then finally Germany. 6:11.42, the record 6:10.80, so it's still pretty impressive.